It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Thompson Sales, Kitchen Lane USA, Advanced Car Care Center, and Smouse Brothers Foundation Repair. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Hey there, good morning to you on a Wednesday. We are following the news and giving the news this morning as the damage from Hurricane Melissa becomes more evident here in the light of day in Jamaica. The effort to get resources to the island kicks into high gear. Springfield-based Convoy of Hope is moving essential supplies to the island to deliver help and hope to survivors of that storm. And what a storm it was, too. Supplies include water, food, hygiene items, baby supplies, and more. Power outages are widespread and may continue for several weeks following the intensely powerful Category 5 hurricane that made a direct hit on Jamaica, the strongest hurricane to ever hit that island. And they're thinking the second strongest hurricane ever to come out of the Atlantic. So really a really powerful storm. And it continues with Cuba. That kind of hit overnight, so we're waiting to see also what the damage is there in Cuba. But, man, a very powerful storm, one for the history books. And now the real work begins.
Speaking of history books, what a time we are in. The government shutdown is now the second longest funding lapse in history, essentially at 1 full month right now today. So the government shutdown is messing up food for a lot of Americans. Funding runs out this Friday for SNAP, which is the food assistance program. People can get some subsidies, subsidized groceries. 40 million people, by the way, expected to lose access to that money on Friday, starting on Friday. Missouri Senator Josh Hawley is leading a bipartisan bill to ensure those benefits continue. He says here in Missouri, there are about 650,000 Missourians who rely on the government assistance for groceries. I mean, and keep in mind, some people still not getting paid, government workers, airport workers, air traffic controllers, military. My friend who works for the IRS is not getting a paycheck right now. So many people. Senator Hawley said publicly that this is Congress's fault, not the president's fault. He says, regardless, lawmakers got to get on the same page and appropriate the money. Pretty wild. Pretty wild.
Yep.
All right. If you have a favorite food pantry in town, now's the time to help them out. Either food or money, they could use it. OACAC, the Ozarks Area Community Action Corporation, is trying to feed local families. They are right now working with local businesses and churches and volunteers to try to team up for food drives to try to help fill in the gap. If groups can gather food, like maybe at your workplace, for instance, OACAC says they can distribute it. They are also hosting a meeting today at 2 at the Brentwood Library to try to talk about their community-wide response.
Okay. The St. Louis Arch is 60 years old. The Gateway Arch, gateway to the west. The grounds around it were redone in 2015. Otherwise, the structure was pretty impressive. Not a lot to do, but they had to get rid of those trees. Because the beetle, the ash borer beetle, had destroyed or was killing the trees because they were mostly ash trees on the ground. So they replanted hundreds of trees, and we were back there just a couple of years ago, and it looked great. The trees are growing up, and in fact, I was researching what kind of tree I could grow in my backyard, and I looked up what are the trees that they planted at the Gateway Arch because they look so good. So the government shutdown, as Sarah mentioned earlier, is still going on. So visiting the Arch is a little hairy right now. You have until Sunday to do that. Several local groups have joined together to raise money to allow the visitor center to operate for the 60th anniversary, because you don't want to be shut down for that if possible. After Sunday, though, the doors will close because of the government shutdown. Well, here we are on another Wednesday night and another Wednesday night game for the Missouri State Bears. This evening, they play host to the Florida International team at Plaster Stadium. They are hoping for a great crowd in person to root on the Bears, who are having a good season. But if you can't make it out there in person, you can watch the game on CBS Sports Network. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. tonight. The Bears are currently 4-3 on the season in their very first season in the
I love it.
FBS and in Conference USA.
I love it. I love it. I love it. My friend Katie's boy plays, and she's been tailgating before all the games with some other families, and there's just momentum.
There is momentum. I'll give you that. It's
I
great.
feel like I am going to buy a Missouri State University either sweatshirt or jersey. I've been holding out because after I went to the basketball game and the student section did not stand up for the entirety of the game, I was a little bit offended and thought, if they're not going to be real fans, then I can't be a real fan. But this is different. This is a new day.
Well, it's neat to see them bringing in a crowd for the games. Neat to see them winning some games. And there's a lot of life in the program right now. I'll agree.
Yeah. Good job, MSU. So, okay, that's tonight at 7. Yay. All right. Here's another thing happening tonight that if you're not a football fan, perhaps you will go to this. If you've never welcomed home a veteran, tonight's the night to do so. The airport is hosting the honor flight welcome home party, if you will. It is such a great opportunity. There are 81 veterans taking off this morning for Washington, D.C., and it's just a day trip. So they go all day to see the memorials to the Korean and the Vietnam Wars memorials that they fought. And then they arrive back at the Springfield airport at 7 o'clock tonight. So it is the last honor flight of the year, and organizers are inviting everyone out to publicly welcome them and thank them and cheer them on home. So if that's you, if you want to do that instead, that is also at 7 o'clock tonight at the airport.
Well, I've been on an honor flight before. I got to cover it at KY3 as a reporter and do a story on it. And that was World War II veterans at the time. And man, what a great experience it was for me just to be part of it, to see this. But for the veterans and their sponsors, their hosts who go along with them, just an incredible bonding time. And to see all of the veterans together, reminiscing about the wars that they were in and talking about the camaraderie. That's what they miss the most, is the camaraderie of the military. But there are school kids who wrote letters to them. They got to have a mail time and they got to read letters, and very emotional for a lot of the men and women who were there. And then to go see the memorial, the World War II memorial, for them to see it in person was a really moving experience. Now it's a long day because I think they boarded at 4:30 this morning or 4. So
I forgot what time they left out, but I knew it was crazy early.
It's a very early start. You fly straight to Washington, D.C. on a charter flight. You land, they immediately escort you. And even while you're at the airport in D.C., there are crowds cheering you on. So that's super cool. And then it's a whirlwind day. They provide lunch, obviously, and meals. Then you get back on the plane, you fly home, and they're tired when they arrive home tonight, but it puts a little pep in their step whenever the crowd is there cheering them on, welcoming them home. So
yes,
and you know, for a lot of the Vietnam vets, they all of them, they didn't receive that kind of welcome when they came home. So this is the first time that they're getting it. So it's a neat thing to be part of if you can. And it's a great thing. It's a great teaching opportunity for the kids to tell them about history. And these are heroes that fought for our freedom, that sort of thing.
There you go. All right. That's a look at the news. Now, don't forget about the contest that we have going on right now. Go to aroundtheozarks.com, click on contest. We are giving away 2 Chiefs tickets. 2 Kansas City Chiefs tickets to go watch the Texans. That will happen at Arrowhead Stadium on December 7th. So we are in the middle of the giveaway for that. All you have to do is upload a picture of yourself in your Chiefs gear somewhere around the Ozarks. That enters you into our drawing, and we will be in touch with the winner.
Yeah. We give away great prizes at Around the Ozarks. So check it out, aroundtheozarks.com.
We have the best sponsors on the planet, just for the record.
We do. They're all running there at the bottom of the screen. We appreciate them so much for allowing us to do what we do. and give you the news that you want to hear in a format that you want. So
there you go. Springfield Green County Park Board, Thompson Sales, Kitchenland USA, Advanced Car Care Center, they're new to us, and Smouse Brothers Foundation Repair. So, and then Sigwo Arms did the Kingdom Country, Ozarks Kingdom Country contest. So thanks to all of them. And we're just super thankful. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Thanks for watching. Share it with a friend, and we'll see you then.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, brought to you by Command Family Medicine, Heating and Air Paramedics, The Trailer Ranch, Hewitt Messenger, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Wednesday. It is a dreary day out there for sure. We've still got windy conditions, temperatures starting out in the low 40s this morning, and I've got high temperatures staying in the low 50s. So chilly out there for your Wednesday. Combine that with the wind and the rain. Not going to make for a great day to be outdoors, but I do have better news in this extended forecast. Today, though, grab the rain gear. You're going to want the extra layer, maybe the thicker winter coat and an umbrella for sure. We have rain on the radar already this morning, and it's been fairly soggy overnight in the overnight hours too. The radar staying full across the area. Nobody getting just a ton of rain, but a nice soaking rainfall is what we're seeing here midweek. Combine it with the wind, though, and it's making it feel rather blustery outside. We'll hold on to these windy conditions through the course of the afternoon. In fact, a wind advisory in place in some of our far western counties west of I-49. I do expect that we hold on to the rain chances through at least early this afternoon before the skies begin to dry up for us a bit and we see partial sunshine come back into play. That's going to happen by Thursday. I do have that wind advisory out there, though, so keep in mind that that's in place through 1 p.m. today. Winds could gust to 40 miles an hour and have over in some of our far western counties. In fact, in eastern Kansas, it is super windy today. It's not quite as bad here, but small limbs may be breaking off trees in some of the higher wind gusts. Loose objects may be flying around if it's trash day, and travel could be difficult, especially for some high-profile vehicles. So just something to keep in mind if you do have to travel on this dreary day. We have cold, rainy, and blustery conditions that are going to stay in place today, and it's really going to limit our high temperature. I've only got 52 degrees for the high temp in Springfield today, remaining very chilly. Rain showers, best bet is this morning and early this afternoon through about the lunch hour. Then we start to see the skies dry out. Now, the big headline for the rest of the work week forecast is that I've got frost potential in the forecast tomorrow morning, Friday morning, Saturday morning, and Sunday morning. So it's definitely going to be much cooler across the region with temperatures falling back into the 30s at night. A very chilly Halloween trick-or-treat forecast is in play for us, but we will at least have some partial sunshine back on Friday afternoon. And it does appear that we stay rain-free as we move through this weekend as well. That frost freeze potential increases tomorrow, lasting all the way through Sunday. I don't think anywhere gets too terribly cold, but the threat here is going to be for some patchy areas of frost around the region each and every morning. So if you have sensitive vegetation, you're going to need to either bring it in every night, cover it up, or just say goodbye to it for the growing season this year. Around the country, what's making headlines, of course, is remnants of Hurricane Melissa, an incredible, one of the strongest storms ever in the Atlantic Basin, making landfall in Jamaica yesterday as a Category 5 storm. It's going to bring some gusty winds and scattered rain chances to Florida and much of the southeastern United States. We also see a marginal risk of excessive rainfall and flash flooding for the Appalachians today, and an enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms does appear to exist along the Gulf Coast, so that's something to keep in mind and what you may be hearing about in the national news headlines today. The Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question from yesterday: which U.S. city has the highest recorded snowfall on Halloween in a single day? The options that I gave you were A, Buffalo, New York, B, Anchorage, Alaska, C, Duluth, Minnesota, or D, Salt Lake City, Utah. And the answer is C, Duluth, Minnesota. Remember that question I had for you yesterday? Minnesota is a common place to see snowfall for Halloween. In fact, I mentioned that record-breaking snow yesterday. I just didn't tell you what city it fell in. The storm dropped the state record of 36.9 inches of snowfall in Duluth. And much of the Twin Cities recorded more than 28 inches of snowfall. That was back in 1991. So congrats if C, Duluth, Minnesota was your guess. Here's some more Halloween trivia for you. In what year did the U.S. government first impose a nationwide sugar rationing that suspended trick or treating? Do you know? Do you think it was A, 1930, B, 1942, C, 1966, or D, 2020? You can tell me your guess. That's at aroundtheozarks.com. Thanks so much to our sponsors, Command Family Medicine, Heating and Air Paramedics, The Trailer Ranch, Hewitt Messenger, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Have a great one, everybody. I'll be back to chat with you first thing tomorrow.